Hello everyone. I hope that you are all having a wonderful day. I am very excited to finally give you my final thoughts on a bunch of products that have been honestly sitting out waiting for me to tell you what I think of them. Some of these honestly I have not been able to get my mind wrapped around them, and I'm finally ready to tell you about them. I'm so excited. Before I get going, I have to tell you about my tea of the day. I'm trying something a little different for me today, and this is a sample from Sips By. This is from Nelson's tea. It has a cute little logo, and this is from Indianapolis. This is their vanilla caramel Earl Grey tea. I usually avoid flavored teas because a lot of times the flavorings kind of give me a headache, but this one is quite delicious. It tastes very desserty, and so far I haven't gotten a headache. It does say it has natural flavoring, so whatever that means, for some reason I can tolerate it. I'm not necessarily tasting a little like the caramel taste, but it does taste kind of just sweet. I think it's good. All right. Let's get into speed reviews. So I'm gonna do one skincare product and then I'll get into all the makeup. So I don't usually review a lot of skincare because I don't usually switch up my skincare routine too much. I have sensitive, acne-prone skin. When I find a routine, I stick to it. However, I know I've been telling you guys a lot that this winter I have been really struggling. My skin has been flaring up, lots of redness, lots of acne, and usually when that happens I just try to stick to my same routine and hope it'll just calm down. If I add something new in, a lot of times that will make it worse. Well, my usual strategy just wasn't working, so I decided to try something and it has helped so much. So this is from Tower 28. This is their SOS Daily Rescue Facial Spray. I've been using this in the morning before I put on my sunscreen. I make sure it's fully dry before I put on my sunscreen, and I wish I had taken a picture of my skin before I started using this. I had a terrible breakout here, pretty much all over this whole cheek that just would not heal. I had had it for months and I was wearing a lot of makeup to cover it, and within a few days it cleared up. I mean, I still have a little bit healing up going on around here, but not nearly to the extent of what it was. I've been converted to this stuff, so now I know they have like a serum version of this. Once I'm out of this, I might try the serum, but in any case, oh, this has been a lifesaver. I was willing to try it because it's accepted by the National Eczema Association. Its main ingredient is hypochlorous acid. It's supposed to be very good for sensitive skin, and I'm so happy it worked. So many times skincare doesn't do anything, it seems, so I was so happy to find something that worked, and fairly quickly as well. Okay, so now that we've got the skincare thing out of the way, let us talk about some makeup products. So here's an update, something that I've already had in the speed reviews. This is from Laura Geller. Again, this is the Baked Blush and Brighten in the shade Ethereal Rose. In my last review, I mentioned how I liked it, but it was just a little too light for my taste, so I was gonna pass it on to someone with super fair skin. Someone in the comment section told me that they have this and they use it as a highlighter, and I'm like, okay, before I pass it on, I'm gonna try that. Oh my gosh, this is a beautiful highlighter. It's so beautiful. And I don't usually go for a lot of pink highlighters, but there's something about this one that is just not too pink, that it is gorgeous as a highlighter. Like, I don't feel like it emphasizes texture. It doesn't look too highlightery. And I've gotten to a point now where I am enjoying more blingy highlights. Like, I don't mind that, but the way that this lays on the skin is so beautiful. Yeah, now it's staying in my collection, and I'm gonna count this in my highlighter category. So thank you so much to whoever made that comment. Genius. Something that was sent to me from Influencer is this little duo from Beauty Blender. So this is the Bounce Magic Fit Creamy Bronzer and Highlighter Duo. So when you open the lid, there is the cream bronzer on the inside, and then when you flip it up, there is a cream highlighter. So this cream highlighter, let's start with that. It's very much like a ColourPop Super Shock highlighter with that squishy, bouncy texture. The shade that they sent me, the highlighter is in the shade Pearl and the bronzer is in the shade Buff. So this is what Pearl, the highlighter, looks like. It's very pretty. It didn't blow my socks off in comparison to other things that I have tried, but you know, I have tried the ColourPop ones, which I love so much. So maybe if I hadn't already been in love with those, I'd be more blown away by this, but it is very pretty. The bronzer is very much a texture that I enjoy, and it reminds me a lot of, say, like the Makeup by Mario cream bronzer, or even the Salt New York cream bronzer. It's just very, very emollient, just like those other products. Although in comparison to those, I would say it has more of a whipped texture and it has a lot more pigment. So let me show you there. So when I first wore it, I thought it was way too warm for me, and I think used too much just because I was used to those other types of products that weren't as pigmented. So the first time I was like, whoa, it's pigmented and really yellow. But when I use a light hand, I actually really like how it looks. You know, since I got this through Influencer, I didn't pay full price for it. And when I went to put my review for it on Sephora, I couldn't believe how expensive this product is. I mean, I do realize you are getting 2 products, but considering that you can get these types of products for much less money, they're very popular right now, these cream bronzers, cream highlighters. I'm trying to remember how much it was at Sephora. I'll put it on the screen, which Beauty Blender does tend to be kind of an expensive brand anyway, so I don't think it's worth that much, but I do think it's a nice product. Bronzer does dry down, by the way, to like a powder finish. It does not remain emollient like the Makeup by Mario or the Salt New York one. So I don't know why I was comparing it to those in the first place. Just when I first used it, that's what I initially thought, but I don't think they're actually similar at all. I shouldn't have said that. They're different products. A friend gave me an eyeliner to try from Charlotte Tilbury. So I've never tried her eyeliners before. So this is the Pillow Talk eyeliner, blendable and long lasting. She gave it to me because she didn't think it would be a shade that she would use. I love that shade. I really feel like it makes my eye color pop. So I love wearing this type of, I don't know, what would you call that? Kind of a plummy shade, but with maybe a little bit more warm plummy. I noticed it was very creamy. It went on very easily and it did not budge until I went to wash it off at the end of the day. So I think it's a very nice formula and I will happily use it. So thank you so much, my friend, for giving me the Charlotte Tilbury eyeliner. I think it's beautiful. Okay, I think I'm finally ready to give my review on the e.l.f. Halo Glow. Oh, the liquid filter, it's so popular. This type of product, so popular. I really held back for such a long time because for the longest time, my skin was more oily. I did not need a product like this under my makeup to give me more glow. I felt like my sunscreen did that for me. Well, here finally this winter, my skin has been dry and sad. And so I was like, okay, if I'm gonna try something like this, now is the time to try it. And I think it's actually beautiful. It's really, really nice. And it has a lot more coverage than I expected. The first time I used it, I just used it underneath my foundation and it was beautiful. It gave a very nice soft glow, nothing metallic. I felt like it really just was one with my skin. It didn't look like something unnatural. And initially, and I think I mentioned this in this first video I tried it in, that I didn't think I would like it by itself, that it would just be too glowy for that. I think I'm gonna take that back. I think that with the right conditions of other things that I was wearing, I could pull off just wearing this by itself. It's sadly not a perfect match for me. I do have the shade number 1, the fairest shade, and it's a little too dark for me. I hope that e.l.f. I've been hearing that a lot from other people too, that the lightest shade is just too dark. I hope that e.l.f. expands the shade range of this. It's got to be one of the most popular products ever, so it would be smart of them to do so, to bring out more shades. If they do so, I hope they bring out a lighter shade. But in any case, as I was saying, it does have a little bit of coverage to it, so it's not just a glow booster. On a day when I just wanted a little something, this is actually quite pretty. It reminds me a lot of the one that I used up from, oh, was it Maybelline? That's another one that's relatively new. I think it came out last year. That one made my face itch, however. I'll put up a picture on the screen of what it is. I can't remember what it's called. This one happily does not make my face itch, but I do think that they're very similar products and how they're just very, very pretty on the skin. I get the hype. It's real. It has a nice glass bottle too, which is nice. Okay, so I tried out another one of these little sticks from Nudestix. I keep getting these from FabFitFun. They keep having them in like their add-on sales and I think that they're nice, so I keep getting them. But this is a different formula than I've tried before. So this is the Gel Color Lip and Cheek Balm. I have it in the shade Babe, so it is more dewy than the other ones that I have. The other ones that I have are matte, but it's strangely long wearing. I used it on both my lips and on my cheeks, and it was pretty long wearing, even for something that is glossy as it is. And it's very, very flattering. Like, I instantly fell in love with this. Nudestix is winning me over. I have not forayed into their blush sticks that I feel like are like their most popular product just because they're so expensive. But I might break down and actually get one or two because every single product I try from Nudestix I think is very high quality and very nice. All right, the mascara I've been trying for the past month or so. I just put up a whole video reviewing this, so I don't feel like I need to go too deep into it, but the short version is that I like it. I will happily use it for the next 6 months or so. This is what the wand looks like. This is the L'Oreal Unlimited mascara. This is the mascara that has the wand that bends like this to supposedly make it easier to get like your outer lashes and then these lashes as well. I'm not sure if it does help. I think maybe, but I also think that just it being a shorter wand makes it easier to reach those places, to have more control. But anyway, I digress. I think it's good. I think it gives me good length and volume, but it still doesn't beat out my favorites, namely the Cali Ray and the Tower 28. So far, my experience with L'Oreal mascaras has been very good. I think so far of the ones I've tried that they make a good mascara. I just tried this in one of my last videos. I think this is so nice. This is from NYX. This is the Ultimate Glow Shot. I have the shade Golden Goji. So the reason why I thought it was so nice is because it was so easy to work with. So while it is a liquid shadow, it's one of those things that you can build slowly on top of itself without it getting weirdly patchy and picking up on itself. And it's not one of those metallic shadows that makes your eyelids look crepey. It has also some like little tiny little mica sparkles in it. So it's somewhere between a metallic and like a sparkly shade. More metallic than sparkly, but it does have the sparkles in there. But in any case, it does make your eyelid look very, very glowy, and it stays very, very well. I tried it using my finger, I applied it just using the applicator, and I used a brush with it, all those different ways. It looked beautiful. It makes me very tempted to try the other shades. These, because it didn't crease at all, and it again didn't have that icky crepey look that sometimes you can get from liquid shadows that dry down. So I thought this was just beautiful. Really, really nice. Here's another product from L'Oreal. This is the Glow Paradise Balm-in-Lipstick, I think they call it. I picked up the shade Nude Heaven, and I've been raving about this type of lipstick for months, so you guys know that I love a balmy lipstick. It is a weakness of mine. I want to try them all, apparently, and generally I like them. The scent on mine isn't very strong, which I know I mentioned in another video, and I'll mention it again. I know some people really hate the scent of L'Oreal lip products. For some reason, I can tolerate it, but I really like this color. Here right now, it's looking very pink, isn't it? But when I tested it out in the video, or actually I've been wearing it not just in that video, I've been wearing it also in just regular day-to-day life, and I love it because it's not too pink and not too peachy and not beige. Sometimes those beigey ones can be just too skin tone and they just make you look like you don't have lips. This is a really beautiful color, and I think it was smart of L'Oreal to re-release something like their Color Riche lip shines. That's actually what I'm wearing today, one of their discontinued ones. Speaking of something that's discontinued, but all the products that are in it are things that are still available, so I'm gonna give you my thoughts. So I found this at TJ Maxx, and I've been very interested to try a lot of the Nars face products, but you know, they're just really expensive. So I was happy to find a palette that has a lot of their classic colors in it. So this is what was called the Full Access Cheek Palette, and Nars, you know, they very quickly discontinue things, but it does include shades in here that are already available. So it has Tempted, their classic shade that I'm not going to mention on my channel because I'm going to keep it PG, Behave, and Laguna. I actually don't like the classic shade. I find it to be very, very sparkly. More sparkly than I want. Maybe for certain looks that'd be what I would go for, but it's definitely not an everyday blush for me. I'm kind of surprised that it's so popular. It's just so sparkly. But I really enjoyed the other three shades in here. The Laguna bronzer seriously surprised me. The tone of it, I mean, it doesn't really look like much in the pan or even while swatched, but there's something about that. See, it doesn't like look like it's going to be that great of a tone, but there's something about it when I put it on that I was just very impressed with its tone and buildability. And same with the blushes. I don't think they swatch the best, but when you put them on, they're just beautiful. So now I know why Steph from It's Just Steph, she kind of talks about how she kind of collects these palettes now, and I think I understand, and now I want them as well. I think they're really nice. Okay, one last range of products. So in the past couple of months, I have been testing out Salt New York. I did a whole video on them. I can link it down below. The short of the matter is that I really like them. I think they're beautiful products. I think that they're a good price range. Let's start with the Sneaky Balm. I use the lightest shade. This is definitely a no makeup product. This is not something that's going to give you a ton of coverage. What it does give you though is that kind of beautiful skin look that when you're walking by the mirror and you suddenly like, whoa, my skin looks great. It does that, and it doesn't even look like it when you put it on. Literally every time I put it on, I'm like, wow, I didn't really do much, did it? And then suddenly 10 minutes later, it's almost like it's melted into your skin and it's like, oh my goodness, my skin looks great. So this is a product that I will be using for sure, and I think it lives up to its name of Sneaky Balm. It's sneaky. I tried the highlighter. I have the shade Beige, which that's it right there. It's another beautiful product. I enjoy this type of melty cream. It has like zero stickiness. It's just melty. Oh, and you know, none of these are going to be long wear products. They're all creams that don't fully dry down. They are by no means sticky, but don't expect them to, you know, completely stay put or to completely stay all day. But I did think that they wore off nicely. Moving on to the bronzer, I have the shade Light. This is very similar to the Makeup by Mario one. That's what it looks like, just lightly swatched. So it has, you know, not a whole lot of pigment to it, but beautiful blendability. It looks really, really natural on the skin, just like all the Salt New York things do. Very, very natural. And I picked up 2 of the blushes. This is Maple and this is Rose. I have worn both of them multiple times now. They're beautiful products. They're kind of like a translucent base, so that without that white base, they can really work across a wide range of skin tones. They blend in beautifully. They're very melty, very pretty, like just like all the other products from the whole line. The only thing I'm going to say is that if you are going to exclusively be using the Sneaky Balm or the bronzer as like part of your routine, I do think you'll go through them pretty quickly, whereas of course the highlighter and the blushes will last you a lot longer. But overall, I was very, very happy with my foray into the brand. It's definitely my type of everyday makeup. Okay, I think that's everything I wanted to mention today. Thank you guys so much for staying until the end of the video. If you have tried any of these products, make sure and let everyone down in the comments know what you think. Just because I feel a certain way about a product doesn't mean everyone else will, because makeup is so incredibly subjective. So make sure and share all of your experiences about these products down in the comments so we can all make our best purchasing decisions. Again, thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. I will see you again very soon in the next one. Bye!